In this section, we're going to talk about pushing positions. Now, you only start to push when the cervix is 10 centimeters dilated. If you do not have an epidural, when your cervix gets to 9 to 10 centimeters dilated, you will feel the urge to start pushing. And what you will feel is like you need to go to the washroom to empty your bowels. It is something which just, it's something which you just cannot control, and you will feel it, and we will hear you starting to bed down with contractions. So if you don't have an epidural, you will say to the nurse, "Nurse, I need to push, I need to push." With an epidural, you probably will not feel the urge to push. And what will happen is we'll be checking you every 3 to 4 hours, and hopefully you will get to full dilatation, which is 10 centimeters dilated. Now, a few sessions ago, I said to you the first rule is if you think you're in labor, go back to sleep. The second rule is no pressure, no pushing. So if we examine you, or when we examine you and we say to you, you are 10 centimeters dilated, you are fully dilated, if you do not feel the urge to push, if you do not feel pressure in your bowels or in your pelvis, you do not start to push, because all you're going to do is you're going to take a deep breath and you're going to just blow, and you're just going to push your eyes out. You're going to get big swollen eyes. You're going to burst the blood vessels in your cheeks, and you will not have a baby. You do not start to push until you feel pressure in your pelvis, like you need to go to the washroom. Pushing a baby out is not the same as pushing a heavy object. It is not that. You will not have a baby doing that kind of pushing. Pushing a baby out is like going to the washroom, like emptying your bowels. And so this is where most women think, if I am pushing like I'm going to the washroom, what happens if I do? Ladies, do not worry about it. Please, it is part of the whole process. You do not need an enema to empty your bowels beforehand. You do not stop eating and drinking for days before. Just be natural. It is all part of the whole process. In fact, we want to see you pushing like you're emptying your bowels. So what happens when we check you and you are fully dilated and you don't feel anything? This is what is going to happen. Absolutely nothing. You're going to go back to sleep for another hour. And what we will do is we will turn down, not off, we will turn down the epidural, so that in the next 30 or 45 minutes or an hour, you will say to the nurse, "Nurse, I feel that pressure in my pelvis. I need to start pushing." And so we'll start the pushing process. Now, there are a number of pushing positions. If I see any one of you, if I catch any one of you in the squatting position, that means you are holding onto the bar and you are squatting down. If I see any one of you squatting or sitting on a labor stool, which means you'll be pushing, sitting up like that, you deserve the hemorrhoids you are going to get. They will be as big as your fist. So if you want to squat, go ahead, but please do not tell me how big and swollen your hemorrhoids are, because I do not care. So my advice is, please do not squat and push or sit and push. That is not for you. Trust me on this one. The positions that we would usually start you pushing in is with you lying on the bed with your feet in the pushing stirrups. Now, I don't have the bed here, and I don't have all the equipment, but I'm just going to show you very basically the positions. Now, when you push, this is how you're going to do it. You will feel the pressure, you'll feel the contraction build, and when you do, you take a deep breath, you hold it, and you push, like I said before, like you're going to the washroom for 10 seconds. So deep breath, hold, and you push into your pelvis for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, and after 10 seconds, quick breath, quick cleansing breath out. quick breath again, and push for another 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 3, 2, 1. Quick breath again, out, in, and hold it, and push for another 10 seconds. So we'll have 3 good 10-second pushes with each contraction. And when the contraction goes away, sip of water, cool towel on your forehead to cool you down. Dads, there's a little, I tell you to bring a fan with you in what you bring to the hospital, time to break open the fan. So dads, partners, you're the water boy, the fan boy, and girls, you do the pushing. So the most basic pushing position is with you lying, not sitting. We said no sitting. We said lying on the bed, and you'll be sitting sort of somewhat upright, and there'll be a little ledge to hold on to, or what's even better is to hold under your knees. And when you have a contraction, you take a deep breath, hold it, and you push, 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 hold it, push, 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 and 3 good pushes, and then you're good. Then you can take your legs down, sip of water, and we wait for the next contraction. So this is the basic pushing position. There is a modification of this position called the water ski position, and on the bed we'll put a little frame and attach a rope to it so that you can, instead of grabbing behind your knees, you can grab onto the rope, and when you have a contraction, you can pull yourself up, and what that does is it helps generate more pressure while you push. So the standard pushing position, either lying down or with the rope, those are good positions. Those are the standard positions, and that's how we'll start the pushing. The best position, the most efficient position, the position that is going to get your baby delivered is neither of these two. It is called the McRoberts position. And the nurse should tell you about this position. It's not a position that you want to start off pushing, because I'm going to show you what the position looks like. But after a half an hour or even an hour of pushing, it's time for the McRoberts position. Now, the average amount of time in the second stage, in the pushing stage, is about 2 hours. It takes most first-time moms about 1 to 2 hours of pushing to deliver a baby. So you'll start off in the position that I showed you, sort of lying down, sitting up a little bit, or in the water ski position. But after about 40 minutes to an hour, you say to the nurse, I want to try the McRoberts position. And this is the position. It's not for beginners. The McRoberts position is not for beginners, and this is why. Up until this point, you've been sitting upwards and you've been grabbing yourself behind your knees, and that's okay. The McRoberts position is with you lying flat down like that, and the nurse grabs one leg, you grab the other behind your knee, and your partner grabs the other leg. And what we're going to do is we are going to bring your bum upwards, that your baby is going to be shooting at the roof. Up until this point, you're sitting upwards and pushing. Now it's time for the McRoberts position, as with you lying quite flat. And the reason why I say it's not for beginners, because when you lie flat, you're going to get a lot of the apple juice and water you've been drinking coming up. It doesn't feel the most comfortable, but it works well. So we lie you flatter, and then the nurse takes the one leg, the partner takes the other, and you grab yourself behind your knees. And when you have a contraction, you bring the legs upwards. It's not a very genteel position because everything is showing and it's pointing at the ceiling, but this position gets the job done. This position helps get the baby under the bone. The biggest obstruction to you delivering your baby is not from a lack of force, it is the pubic bone. And no matter how hard you push, if the pubic bone is in the way, you will not deliver your baby. With the McRoberts position, the pubic bone, as your bum comes upwards, as your perineum faces the ceiling, as it comes up, the baby slides under. So you'll start off pushing in the upright position, and then you'll do maybe a bit of water skiing, and then after 45 minutes to an hour, if your baby hasn't delivered, we'll lie you down, grab yourself, will grab you by your legs, point your bottom towards the ceiling, and this position gets the baby delivered.